Hello. So I wanted to continue with I promised you the video on the back of the neck, which is also called the mouth of God, the breath of God, um, the Goddess Chakra, and the Alta Major Chakra. It probably has some other names too, but I wanted to talk about this because this is very important, and I took some notes so I didn't forget anything that I wanted to share with you because I think I mentioned some of this information before in maybe in other videos because it's very important, but I wanted to do just one video for this because this is so important that once you understand that, you'll be blown away. And a lot of people don't pay attention to this chakra right here that sits right here in the back of the skull, like at the beginning of the neck, the back, the top of the where the vertebra, the spine is, and at the base of the skull. So this is called the, let's call it the Alta Major, or the mouth of God chakra. I like that name, the mouth of the goddess, of the mouth of the God. So one of those, I refer to it either way. The reason why this is important is because for a long time, a lot of people have had this chakra completely taken over by negative thoughts, difficult childhood, negative imprints, implants, even from other entities, and even beings from other planets, other soul systems, and also by your negative thinking. The experiences, when you think of them negatively, you leave an imprint on this area that repeats, and it becomes cycles where every so often you feel like, why did I do this again? Why did I allow this person in my life? Why did I have to do this? Why do I think one thing but I do something else? Because here there is a memory, there is a function that acts like a memory collector, and it gives a meaning. So every time you think of something, this thing is receiving the signals and is remembering always. So this is like a receptor, and it receives. You will see that sometimes we refer to this in Yoruba, in Ifa, as Eshu. This is the area where Eshu lives. But what is Eshu? Eshu can be the expansion of consciousness, but it can also bring you to negative situations if you're not careful, if you don't learn the lessons, if you don't learn. Sometimes in Ifa we say we have to do the sacrifices for Eshu, because we have to respect this area in a way that is so really magical, because when this thing is completely blocked off, it's blocked off for a lot of people that are in the matrix, a lot of people that are not aware, is because this thing has been taken over by negative memories, imprints, implants, entities, negative entities too. And that's why sometimes you feel, when you feel something off, you feel it in the back here, or if you feel when your hair goes up because you feel something, you feel it from this area. I remember years ago, somebody walking behind me, and I felt the energy so strongly back here, and I felt it. It was like, even like a wind came with it the first time that this happened, and it was a major wind, like. And I have already gone through what I consider my first awakening. And I remember feeling this area extremely sensitive, but also no understanding why I was feeling like anybody that will go behind me, I will feel it, and I will feel it. Almost like these things got their own eyes. And that's what it is. It's like you have this front eye, this is the back of your eye. So when I think of this chakra, which some people think is a minor chakra, it's actually pretty major. This chakra is almost like your seventh intuition. You know how we have the sixth intuition, your gut feeling? Well, this is the the intuition from the spirit dimension. This is where you feel, you intuitively know things. This is where it's coming from. And it's like you really have to pay attention to how this area feels, because even when we mount spirits, this is where we're mounting them from. And that's why we have a lot of issues with our neck. And sometimes we have to, I don't do a good job with covering my neck. It's almost like the crown. We have to cover the crown. Well, we also have to cover the neck. But what I do is I put oils, and I charge the oils with specific stones. And every day I will put a cross on the back of my, right here on the back of the neck. I will put one here, here, the ears, because this affects the ears too when you hear. I want to make sure that I'm not hearing things from the left plane. So I always make sure that this area, the third eye, the back of the neck, the throat, and the ears are pretty in sync, and almost like not closed off, because I don't want them to be closed off. I want them to be open, but I want them to be open intentionally to only receive and transmit information from higher beings that are obviously connected to God. So I don't want anything that has to deal with the left plane. So I make sure that I always bless those areas at the beginning of the day and throughout the day, just to make sure that I don't give an opportunity, because this area receives so much information. It's almost like it's like a tunnel, like portal. Is the void is right here, and anything that comes in stays there. That's why when the spirits come and can possess other people, they come through this area and they can possess people for a long time, because they don't know any better, and they're so closed off that they don't know when it's them thinking or somebody else thinking for them. And that's why people will hear things, and it's because this area is not protected, and it hasn't been cleansed ever. And that's why I keep saying, do not allow anyone to touch you on this area or any of your centers when you're doing any type of spiritual work, because the energies go like this. And if they're not in sync with your energy, they can create a lot of chaos for you. I had a situation happening. It was like a month, or maybe a month and a half, where I had to like be doing things to process information for the other person, because when she touched me there, and I allowed it, I should have known better. But you know, when you're doing spiritual work, everybody's love and love and love, and you don't think somebody's going to bring something that later you have to face. Well, that was a big lesson for me, and I think that's why it happened. But this area is so sacred. You don't let anyone touch you there, or on your head, or any part of your body, when you're doing spiritual work, unless you really trust them, unless they're like the godmother, godfather figure, because it can create a lot of troubles for you. So anyways, the back of the mouth, back of the neck, mouth of God chakra, this heart is almost like it has its own function, its own brain, because it receives information and it stores the information, and it keeps reminding you constantly. So it's almost like a little brain that is receiving like a signal, picking up, and then you turn then this energy that you're receiving into memories. So it might not happen in a specific way, but because you saw it and you said it to yourself in a specific way, it becomes that way. That's why sometimes when you go into quantum healing and we go to a specific memory, you'll see that people will see, oh my God, that's not, at the end, after we talk, it's like, that's not how that it happened initially, because they only saw what they were able to see. So this is like the filter. We have the information coming in, and this filters the information based on all the memories that you bring from other past life, parallel life, from this reality, from childhood, from traumas, happy moments, anything is filtered through here. So when we receive the information, the downloads, they get stored here, and depending on your experiences and how much work you're doing to release energy, release memories, release negative things, then this can say, okay, this is how I'm going to understand it, or this is how I'm going to understand it based on the work that you're doing. That's why it's very important for you to do a lot of work to release anything that doesn't serve you, because all those memories are here. That's why when people are doing quantum healing and we are working on releasing traumas, releasing fears, releasing memories, releasing implants, you will always see 99.9% of the time that those implants, those imprints, those negativities are right here on the back of the brain, the back of the skull. That's just crazy because it's happened over and over and over. So I ask for information on what does this mean? Why is this important? And I have been receiving the information because I need to pass it on. That's why I cannot put this just for the Awakening the Healer within training program, because they want me to pass this information to anyone that is ready to listen to this. That's why it's going to be on YouTube. But really what this means is that this transmitter here is receiving information constantly, and the information gets trapped there. So then in order for you to really activate this chakra and release anything that doesn't serve you, you have to do a lot of work on yourself. That is the only way. You cannot do it by just keep thinking the same way, keep doing the same things. You will not activate this if you're not really going through your awakening process, because this is a major step to you understanding the different levels of what needs to be done, from understanding humility, understanding respect, understanding honoring the ancestors, honoring those around us, everything around us, and having a deep level of hunger for knowledge, for wisdom, for connection to the stars, the moons, anything, the plants, the neighbors, the cashier that serves you at a restaurant or whoever. But if you don't have that, you cannot properly work with this chakra to go to the next level. This chakra becomes so important because it's almost like if you have things that are bothering you, if you keep cursing because you don't know any better and you don't know the power of your words, this chakra cannot be activated. If you keep being jealous because you have a lot of issues in your heart space, this is related to that space. And when you work on this space, you're also relieving energies from here. Therefore, when you relieve energy from here, you also relieve energy from your heart space. So they work in sync in order for you to actually continue your process. And unfortunately, there is no shortcuts. You cannot learn about your childhood, releasing childhood or traumas in your life without going through the process of understanding yourself, studying yourself, understanding how others trigger you in any way, how they mirror you, what makes them ugly people because they're a mirror of you, why are you judging people, what is it that you don't like about yourself that you see in others. So everybody becomes a reflective mirror for you to understand and study yourself, to take responsibility for yourself. And when you start doing that, then you go through the different process of really working on controlling your thoughts for the positive only, controlling your speech for the positive only, because you become what you speak, you become what you think. So your actions are just the result of your thoughts and your speech. And when you go through that process, you become humble, you become respectful, you honor things in a different way, and you go through a level of understanding that unites you with the male and the female energy of yourself in order for you to go through ascension, because you have reflected, you have studied yourself. And what this means is that you're ready to open up fully the third eye in a way that connects you to the cosmos. But in order for you to have proper channeling, proper connection, you really have to have this area completely clean, purified, because otherwise what you're attracting is just the negative things. So you do have to be very careful with this, because you want to make sure that you are purifying your thoughts, purifying your words, purifying your actions, purifying your heart, so that when this chakra gets activated, you're not going through the planes that can make you very scared or can trick you onto becoming someone that you're not supposed to be. For example, channeling or working with spirits of the left planes can be very, very bad. So I'm not even gonna get into that, but I think you know what I mean. And you can only do that if you purify yourself, your thoughts, your actions, your heart, in order for you to actually channel information to become a healer of the light. So let's see if I have anything here that I forgot. So the energy of the tree, the energy of the tree of life inside of us is this is like the antenna, the branches that are picking up information, and it goes through here. This is the sacred gateway that I talked about in the previous video. So this gateway is the way for you to enter a deeper level of consciousness. You can only enter that when you purify yourself. You cannot go through that gate properly without purifying yourself, and you'll purify yourself the way we talked about it just now. So anything else? I think I gave you everything that I wanted to give you. So the back of the mouth, it is the filter of consciousness. So, you know, this is extremely important, because the matrix, this is a matrix, and when this chakra is completely blocked and it has been compromised by negative entities, because this attracts, and if you're not careful, you can be attracting things that you don't want with your thoughts, with your words. But also they're aliens, negative entities that not aliens, let's just call them negative entities, that they know, because humans are not even aware of this chakra. It's easy for them to tap into them. Just like, remember the movie The Matrix, how Neo had to take this thing off in order for him to see differently? It's the same concept. This is the real concept. This is like a documentary, because this chakra here is so plugged in with things that we don't want, that until we go through our awakening, we don't realize that we have been seen with the wrong filter, because we have been connected to the matrix. So we have to take this thing off. I remember having a vision of how humans are being charged by the toes and here, because we don't know any better. So when we take this thing off, we see with a different lens, and we have to be ready for that, because it could be completely different than what we're used to. Everything around us will change. People around us will change. They might think we're crazy. They might think that something really is wrong, because they are so plugged in that they will not see how you are now fully awake. So you really do have to do this with time, taking the time to be with you, to study yourself, to understand your actions, to understand your thoughts, to contemplate, meditate, to walk in nature. It really becomes a process. So I don't know if there is anything else I need to tell you, but I think what the main reason why this is important is because when we put things into perspective and we see how things really happen, you'll be able to understand this energy center is sacred. You don't want anyone to touch you in that area ever. And because this is like an antenna, a receiver, it's like a magnet, pulling information. That's why when you go to a store, you out of nowhere you might feel happy, or you might feel sad. You might feel sad because you're picking up from other people. If those people are sad, you're probably picking up from them. If they're happy, you might be picking up some of that energy too. So this is like a major magnet that attracts information. But if you're not properly balancing your energy and working within yourself to balance and harmonize yourself, you will be attracting what you don't want, and it becomes a repetitive cycle. And that's why people have this mentality: I can never be rich, or I can never have this, or I can never be a healer, or I can never do this, or I can never find someone, because this thing here holds the memory, and until you command it to leave you by working on yourself, it stays, and guess what? When you reincarnate, it might be bringing the same energy back, because this is the mouth of God chakra. This is something that doesn't, when you die, it just doesn't go away. It actually gets transferred from previous lives to now. So your soul might be coming with challenges for this life, but you also have challenges from other lives. So this can be very complicated if you don't know how to release those energies, and you do have to do the work. There is no shortcuts. So I'm gonna leave it there because I think I made my point, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.